Good morning, friends. I wanted to do a little garden tour early March because I have lots planned for my area. As you can see, I've got some plants laid out and I'm in the process of reorganizing the bed for spring and summer. My garas have flushed back and they are blooming. I love the little pink flowers. I purchased some daisies. I actually want to switch out these garas and move them back and put the daisies in between here. I'm sorry, I don't know how good this audio is going to be because there's a lot of construction noise around me this morning. But as you can see, I also planted daffodils this fall and they actually have come up. And this one here has a bud right there. The tip of it looks a little burnt, but I'm hoping a flower will come out. We'll see. But it's the only one that's budded up so far. So this area needs some attention. Over in here, I plan to put in some more salvias. I really enjoyed this guy and this guy over here last year. They were like these two that you see in the back, and they grew very well for me with multiple blooms throughout the season, and they grew quite large. I did cut them back in late fall, early winter, and they had flushed out some new growth in them. Our cold snap stunted them a little bit, but I'm hopeful that they will continue to grow. This variety here, I will put the name up because I don't really remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's a little bit different than the others. But I really enjoy their blooms and they attract a lot of butterflies, and I just like the purple. And then I bought some of these guys. I will put their name up because I have a hard time saying it, to outline the front of this little area. And these daisies were so pretty, I couldn't resist. So I think I would like to do a cluster of them here. My lime zinnia that I started from seed is doing very well, and I think I want to fill it in this hole right here. So I plan to get my seedlings and put them in the ground over here. I have a Texas sage right here and another one over here behind the daisy that were much taller last year, but they did not do well, so I want to take them out and move them to the back. I cut them back, but they have come back. And this is the major overhaul for this area. I want to remove these ferns. My husband really likes them, and it's not that I don't like them, I do, but it's just too much sun for them here, so I want to cut them back heavily, put them in some containers, and perhaps hang them in hanging baskets, or I may move them to the side of my house where it's more shaded. And in this area here, I plan to do some caladiums. Last year I had a coleus in this area that was just gorgeous, but I think I want to do caladiums. I have a lot of calla lilies that I planted last fall that I don't know if they are going to come up again this year, so we'll see. But I did leave them in the ground. I just cut them back. And then when I take out the ferns, I did buy another shrub that I want to put in here that is part shade, so I think it will handle the sun that area receives a little bit better. This is my gardenia I had purchased last year, and it needs some fertilizer and just some attention in general. It has put on some new growth over here, and I think it actually has a bud. I don't think that's a leaf spike. I do think it's a bud. So it needs some iron. so I want to treat that and see if I could get it back healthy. And I have these Canna Lilies that I bought last year, and they have a yellow blossom. They are a little invasive. I bought one plant probably about the size of the shoots you see right now, planted in about that area, but they have sprouted up all over and even out into the grass here. I've dug up some of the roots to try to minimize the spread, but I do want to let them come up. See, there's a shoot all the way over here and over here, so I will let them come up for now and see if I leave that. And this is a little mini Gardenia that my parents gave me, and it needs some TLC. I did fertilize this guy, but he also has sclerosis, it looks like. But I do see perhaps a bud right here. And I did fertilize, but I plan to put a layer of compost inside to see if that will help him out some more. And I will also give him some iron, and I think I want to underplant with something. I had some coleus in there last year, and it was pretty. So anyway, just wanted to give you a tour of the front because I plan to do a lot of changes in here. I'll be moving plants, replacing plants, and just getting ready for spring and summer. And once everything is situated, I will give you another tour. And I managed to save one of the ferns. I took it out of the ground, put it in this pot, and did a lot of trimming on it. Tried to cut out as much dead stuff as I could. And this is a shadier spot, so we will see how this guy does. And hopefully my husband's happy. I saved one of the ferns. So it's day 2, and all of the things that I did yesterday I had to work really quickly because we had a lot of showers yesterday afternoon and a lot of rain. So I had to wait till today to give you a tour of what I accomplished in the front bed. By no means done. I still have quite a few things to do, but I think I made a pretty good dent. And I'm not 100% sure that everything will stay where I put it, but that's just part of gardening. If you put something somewhere and you don't like it, don't be afraid to move it. I think that is the greatest lesson that I've learned. If it's not bringing you joy, don't be afraid to trade it out with something that does, or to move it to a different location. Plants are a little bit hardier than what we give them credit for. I've certainly found that out by digging things up periodically and relocating them. And sometimes you can do everything you think you know how to do for a plant and it still doesn't thrive. So if it's not bringing you joy, don't be afraid to move it, because you can leave it there and it still might not make it. But anyway, of course that's not the outcome we hope for, but let me show you the things that I got accomplished. And this is where the greatest amount of progress was made. I took out the 2 ferns here and replaced them with these guys. I'll put their name on the screen. And this hosta over here was behind the tree. I moved it over so that I have 2 on this side and 2 on that side. Gardening cannot be symmetrical, but I do try to get as close as I can. So anyway, I have 3 coleus up front here, and this is what I was talking about. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep in this particular location and configuration. These will end up getting pretty big and bulky as they grow, and behind them I planted a lot of caladiums, so I'm a little nervous that they will block that. So, and that's if the caladiums come up. So I think I might want to take out these 2 petunias and put the coleus there, and then this 3rd middle one I'll put somewhere else, but I'm not 100% sure on that yet. We'll see. But there's a lot of caladiums in this area, and over here behind the tree I put some caladiums. as well as over here on the other side of this gardenia. So I'm super excited to see if they actually come up. But there's still a lot of cleanup to be done in this bed. I have not mulched yet because the magnolia tree here is still dropping leaves, and I want to fertilize everything really well with a slow release before I come in with the mulch. So anyway, I've also laid out some plants, and that's the next project. I did not get to that, but sometimes I just like to set them where I want them to be so that I can get an idea if I like it or not. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.